Hello, welcome to the Arsenal Agenda. Today we're going to be talking about the Newcastle game on Sunday with Arsenal won 2-0 at Newcastle, and the up-and-coming game on Sunday versus Brighton, who obviously had a poor loss at home at the weekend, well, Bank Holiday Monday. So
stunning result that one, wasn't it?
Absolutely. But yeah, obviously starting off with the Newcastle game at St James's Park, 2-0. What was your thoughts, George?
Absolute result, wasn't it? I expected a draw, didn't I? So I was ecstatic with that. The only thing is, it kind of makes the Southampton and West Ham results that little bit more unforgivable now. Because we're relying on favour. But having said that, going to what you said yesterday with the Everton-Brighton game, Everton found their form and Brighton dropped their form just in the nick of time, maybe. But then, is it a week too early? We'll find out, obviously, this weekend. But yeah, mate, crazy day of football, wasn't it? Yesterday and Sunday.
I mean, as I've been saying, sort of weekly, to try and uphold a little bit of confidence after the couple of losses we had, is that the Premier League does throw up games that I'm
with you. I sort of feel like we threw it away, but the optimist in me says, I'm looking at it now. City are currently 1-0 down against Real Madrid. Obviously, they've got a visit of Everton at the weekend, followed by the return leg of the Real Madrid game. So who knows? I mean, they might have to save some of the Haalands and De Bruyne's for next week because they're 1-0 down now, and they're going to be good to win the Champions League.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people calling this game the sort of final before the final sort of thing. This is sort of the best two teams in Europe. But yeah, no, we're obviously going to see what happens with that, and I believe
we're wrong. It's just we need a couple of slips, but yeah, provided we win our last 3 games, that's going to put us on 90 points, right? If they have 4 games left, I think if they was to win 2, draw 1 and lose 1, that puts them on 89, so we'd win it by a point. So I mean, it's not over, but when you look at the opposition that City have to play, I mean, for me, I think what's the best we could hope for? Say they draw with Everton this weekend, maybe pick up a loss to a Chelsea or a Brighton. But yeah, we still have to win our 3 games. Obviously, we have a tough ask this weekend against Brighton. They might be off the back of a 5-1 defeat to Everton, but I think they'll be looking to show everyone what the real Brighton is again. I think that game was an anomaly, and I think they'll come back firing this weekend.
Yeah, shame it's going to be at the Emirates. They're going to try and come back firing, but
I'll be there this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. It's just I hope I'm not there with my head in my hands, sort of thing. I hope I can be there and enjoy the day.
Yeah, I'm sure that after the win at Newcastle, we're equally. We're that's a big win, a big confidence boost for the dressing room. Arteta sort of very plainly sort of said afterwards that it felt like a revenge. He never admitted that before the game, but as soon as the game had finished in his post-match...
Have you heard the stories coming out that apparently before the game, he did another one of his little Amazon specials, didn't he? He whipped out the video from the documentary last year showing it all.
You mean a documentary he hasn't watched?
No. He whipped out all the images of them after the game and how depressed they all looked, apparently, and made them watch it before the game on Sunday. So, pulled out them Ivan Toney tricks.
Whatever he did, it worked, and we're all very happy for it. So, hopefully a little bit more of that. We need a win against Brighton to keep this pressure on. I think we had, when you looked at the run-in after the games of obviously that we drew and lost against City, it was these next 2 that were the next big 2, with Newcastle and Brighton. So, with 2 wins there for us, you never know what can happen. Like you said, Everton, may have some strange belief now that they can even pull off a shock.
I mean that win. That could lift the fan base at Everton a little bit. So, with it being at Goodison Park, I think they'd kick off just before us on the Sunday as well. So, or are they even on Saturday? I know they played before us.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, we're the later game on the Sunday. I think.
Sunday. I think they play Sunday. So I think they're the earlier kickoff. But so we'll know what happens with them before we go out and play. And obviously, best thing we can hope for is rejuvenated Everton turns over City. But I can't see it. But yeah, we'll hope for a draw or something. This league is crazy, as this weekend has just proven. So
yeah, well,
expect the worst, but I hope for the best.
Absolutely, and with us being 4:30 on Sunday, we kind of watch everything happen before us, so we'll know if there is a slip up. Then I don't believe we'll need any more motivation than that to get us a win. But going back to the game, there's been a bit of talk on the media, and I think obviously that we should discuss it as well, about Eddie Howe's comments about the time wasting during the game.
Bit cheeky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you've come across it yet, but Laura,
double standards, mate.
Yeah. But
ignore it. It's like last year we had the drama of the celebration police. You know what I mean? Every time we got a win that was a hard fought win, and we celebrated
again this season.
About it. I don't get it.
Yeah, we've had that again this season.
It's one of them, when Pep runs up and down the touchline, giving it all that, going mental, right? It's like, oh, he's such a great manager. When Arteta does it, it's like he needs to calm down.
Well, you're going to get it when you're up and coming rather than already at the top of the game. If you see
when Pep and Klopp do it, they're like the next best thing since sliced bread. But when Arteta does it, it's like, oh, he needs to wind his neck in.
Once Arteta's won a couple of Premier Leagues and a Champions League at Arsenal, mate, it'll be the best thing since sliced bread then and all. So I think that's just top managers that have won pretty much what they like can do what they like.
But you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Because that was a thing at the beginning of the season. I remember if Klopp and Pep did it, Sky Sports and whatnot, they'd be saying, "Oh, it's passion." Yeah. But when Arteta did it, it was pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, obviously, one of the things I wanted to mention is to ask you: did you see Laura Woods' response to their comment? She got a cracker out this morning on TalkSport, and she basically outlined the.
Sorry about that bottle. I think I caught it. But...
No. She basically said that the team that she highlighted that the team that has wasted the most time in the Premier League this season is Newcastle.
Yeah, mate. They wasted over half an hour of the game of the Emirates.
Yeah.
So whilst it was a 90-minute game of football, they didn't play football for 90 minutes. No. They played football for under an hour.
Yeah. It's just funny how they don't like it done back to them, but
they're double standards, isn't it?
Absolutely. So obviously 2-0 win, convincing. We're both chuffed with that. Both wrong with our predictions. You said, what was it, 2-2?
I said 1-2, 2-2. Yeah. I said 4, didn't I? Yeah.
I said 3-2. And I'm sure Ramsdale is absolutely chuffed that I'm wrong because he finally got another clean sheet to add to his collection this season. So obviously fantastic result, 2-0, and that's exactly what we need to hopefully do again on Sunday, the up and coming game against Brighton. What's your thoughts about that, George?
I'm going, so I'm hoping I'm going, and we're going to turn them over. I mean, me and you went to the game with the Amex, didn't we, earlier on in the season? We scored. What was it? We scored 4. I can't remember. Oh, it's 4-2, wasn't it? They had one disallowed. So I mean, it was a very good game, wasn't it? It was on New Year's Eve. So I would like sort of a repeat of that sort of entertainment, but then no, I suppose I'd like it a bit more comfortable. I'm going to say I think we can win this one 3-1. I don't think it's going to be that straightforward. I think the first half of an hour is going to be really important.
I think Kevin De Bruyne has just scored.
I mean, pros and cons. The pros of that for us is going to be that they're still in the tie, so now they are more likely to save players for the follow-up fixture, the second leg. They may rest a few against Everton. Who knows what Everton could do in that sort of form?
We'll see. We'll see. I think we've got wishful thoughts, but obviously, whichever way it
is 100% wishful thinking, but that's where we're at the moment, unfortunately, because it's not in our hands anymore.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, prediction, George. What's going to be the score? What do you hope for? What is your final set?
I think we should win 3-1.
3-1. So you
big, 3-1, yeah.
Lots of goals again, then, yeah.
We've got to go and show Casado why we're the club he wants to join. You know.
To be honest, there's a fair few I'd have out of that team. I really like the look of that Matoma, although he's
a great player. McAllister's a great player.
Ferguson, their striker.
They do have some, don't they? Yeah.
Casado. I mean, you can go through the entire team. That young fella, is it Incenzio? He looks very good. He looks very, very good. I mean, Lewis Dunk I'd have. You know, and you
take him over Holding, right? I mean, it's surprising to me how little England caps Lewis Dunk's got, really. When you look at how many likes in Maguire and that's got.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, no, I think they've very sort of, not necessarily quietly, but built up a very solid team, and they seem to have a fantastic reel of players coming off the. They seem to be picking them up before the bigger Premier League teams and fishing them out for big money and turning that money into more players. They do
their business well, don't they? I mean, they brought in Basuma, what a player he was for them. Let's be honest. And then as soon as he's gone, they've got Casado off the conveyor belt, and they've done a similar thing with the left back. Cucurella, what season he had for them last year, sold him to Chelsea, big bucks. If Stupinian's come in, you'd argue. Maybe him and Zinchenko are probably contenders for like the best left back in the league this year.
I mean, talking of Zinchenko, I did think he got a little lucky again at the. He keeps going to sleep around 60 minutes, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I've said in the couple of previous videos we've done, I don't think he's the best defensive fullback, is he?
No, it always seems to be.
He can tend to be caught when he's pushing into the midfield area, isn't he? Because he sort of likes to hang around the centre midfield side, but
he seems to sort of rally the troops.
I've noticed recently he plays everywhere but left back.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts on the Brighton game is I want to have another convincing win. I want Ramsdale to get a clean sheet again. And I'm going to go with 2-0, same result as it was. I think if we can beat Newcastle that away from home, I think we've got all the chance in the world of.
2-0, I'll take. The way Brighton play football, I think this game has got goals in it, because we lead. They still like to score goals.
Well, we haven't been since we've made the change at the back for Kivior. Who again had a solid game against
the last two games, yeah.
So I'd sort of joked roughly about saying that anyone could play well against Chelsea, but to have a clean sheet against Newcastle is fair play to him, absolutely, and he's on the wrong side for his strong foot. So. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does seem to be that people are trying to target him, but no one seems to be getting any change out of him. So, that's obviously a real positive, and long may that continue, because I'm still convinced we ain't going to see Saliba again this season.
They still haven't ruled him out till the end of the season. He might be one of them, he might turn up on the last day.
What, for a 15-minute cameo?
Yeah, on the bench. The last day.
Brilliant. Right, tough to have that back. By that point, hopefully Kivior will be still as solid as he has been so far. But yeah, Jordan, anything else you want to add, mate?
I don't know, mate. Yeah, I saw a few little bits of transfer news beginning of this week. So apparently Agenda-Xhaka.
Yeah, that's hyped up today, isn't it?
Yeah. Heavily interested. To return to Germany for him as well. And you can kind of get it if it's to be believed and we're going to go out big and sign 2 midfielders. So, the priorities are looking like Declan Rice, Casado, Mason Mount. If you get 2 of them, then his Xhaka's minutes would definitely be down on Arsenal. So it then becomes a question for me personally, based off this season, because he's had a bit of a fairy tale season, really, isn't he? Compared to where he was with us in previous years, he's had a fairy tale season, in my opinion. So I'll keep him. I'd like to have that experienced head going into the squad for the Champions League next year, but it's going to be hard because you're going to have players like him and like Kieran Tierney that are going to look at it like, well, I'd probably be playing for any other Premier League team or, some of these other top European teams. So why should I sit here and sit on the bench and not play? But, hopefully we'll be able to give them a few more minutes next year. We went out of the Carabao Cup early and the FA Cup early, didn't we? So that takes games away from squad players, doesn't it? So, I'd like to see Xhaka stay one more season.
Yeah,
especially just for a reward for how well he's done this year, really.
Yeah, same as that. I would
get it if he decided to leave. Because if we do bring in a Declan Rice or a Casado, then that's sort of they're going to slide into his position, aren't they?
Well, he's one of them that I think Xhaka has been one of the most in-form midfielders in the Premier League this season for a lot of it. He's been.
Yeah, I think he does a lot behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
one of the leaders of that squad.
I kind of hope that we can put an incentive in front of him. He's a fantastic turnaround. From where he was. Walking off the pitch, throwing the shirt on the floor and all that sort of stuff, to where he is now, where he's got his own song finally.
Fingers to the fans, didn't he? All that. That's what I mean by compared to where he was with us in previous seasons.
If he goes now,
this year, it's a bit of a fairy tale season for him.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he'd go out at the highest point of his Arsenal career, which I can understand why any player would like to do that at any club. However, I still think he's got so much more to offer and so much more to give, that it would be criminal that if he left now, when the club is, all of his time he's kind of played out of position under all these managers, and he's finally been, found his place and got his role. And I'd almost feel it's criminal for him to leave now, because yes, you may not play every game in the Premier League next season, but I'm telling you, when you're coming up against, like you say, a Real Madrid tonight, you're going to have, if you pull them, you want your experienced heads on the pitch, and guys that are experienced in doing that. And I think he's got so much more to give, and I think that if we get two more midfielders, I don't think that's a problem for Granit Xhaka. I think that's more a problem for the players that you're likely to see leaving, like Charlie Patino won't see his way through, hence he's on his way.
There's going to be a few leaving. We already
another one that
going. There's still question marks over a few of the others that we've got out alone, isn't there? There's question marks about Balogun. In my opinion, there's question marks about Sambi Lokonga.
That's where I was just about to say, the Sambi Lokonga. I think that if we get two midfielders, I think if Xhaka goes, then maybe Lokonga does have a route through. But would you want to directly swap Granit Xhaka for Sambi Lokonga when you're going into the Champions League?
No, that's what I'm saying. For me, he could be one of the players that could get the chop this summer. If it was up to me.
Yeah, so he's had
2 seasons to prove himself, and he just hasn't broken into the team, has he? He's just not looking like, what was advertised to us when we signed him. The next Yaya Toure, they said.
He's definitely not Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure was incredibly physical, and not to pick on him, but his size and stature doesn't allow him to be as physical as Yaya Toure. So that was, if he turned up on that boat, you'd only need to look at him to realise he wasn't going to be the next Yaya Toure.
But that's supposedly what company called him. He was quoted saying when he managed him at Anderlecht, this guy's the next Yaya Toure. Yeah. But we haven't seen anything like that. So I think he could be in trouble with leaving.
So
there's a few, really. I think we're going to have to sell a few. El Neni, again, if we bring in more midfielders, what's his?
I don't know how long his deal was. Wasn't it a year plus a year, El Neni?
Yeah, so that's what we've got the option to extend. So will they just let it go?
I think El Neni would
go. Yeah. The option. We already said Maitland-Niles Patino definitely leaving. Balogun could possibly leave.
I think Balogun's an almost definite to go. Anyways, to be honest, as much as he's had a fantastic season, I think that's easy money, and you can sell him straight out to France. You don't even have to look in the Premier League. So
you also got the other two out in France, Tavares and Pepe. I think Pepe's played his last game for Arsenal. I fully expect him to move on this summer.
Yeah,
I think Nuno Tavares is one of them. It depends what happens with Tierney.
I'll be honest. I see what Arteta wants from his wing backs. Tavares is not his player.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
it's just not. I mean,
minutes in the summer, then we're going to need a backup, and he would, I guess, be the next.
I think he'd sign something. I don't think he would.
Yeah. I think we already need to sign a lot. I think a couple of midfielders, centre back. I think we need that's improving because Saliba's injury we fell apart. Let's be honest. So I do think we need another.
that we only need one more centre back. I think.
Well, it depends really.
To be honest,
Ben White can fill the void there, but if Ben White is played it, he's going to need another right back.
Tomiyasu's still obviously it's unlucky that we've had these, when people come out and say we haven't had injuries, have a look.
Well, you have to do one or the other. If you want Ben White to play centre back, then I think you have to bring in another right back.
See, I think you could bring in someone anywhere across the back three because Tomiyasu can play left back, right back, centre midfield. I mean, he could literally play anywhere across the back four. I think Ben White, right back, centre back, pretty solid. Apparently, Kivior can play left back. So there is Arteta likes these players that
he likes versatility.
Yeah, that have a bit of versatility to them. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was potentially even like an old head to come in, like what he did with Jorginho. I think that would probably be a good move because we've got a lot of young Saliba. You've obviously got Kivior, who's young. Ben White isn't old. I think there's a lot of youth in that. I can't remember exactly how old Gabriel is. I think he's like 25, isn't he? 26. I don't think he's much.
I think he's middle age. So
we don't have a do you know what I mean? A senior centre back. So that's possible.
You can't get that guy is Rob Holding.
Yeah, but.
Man, we've spoken about many a time.
I mean, he's a senior centre back that should be playing in the under-21s, isn't it? It's just like the guy, really don't want to slate him too much. Sure, he's a top fella, loves the club as much as I'd probably do. Played for it every day, whatever, but just not good enough. Sorry, tries his hardest, but not good enough.
Yeah.
And
it's just not up to the quality that we need.
And to be fair, at times when we've been, offloading players and saving money, he's done a job. Arguably some would say not a very good one, but he's done a job. And but we can't be relying on Rob Holding next season. I mean, if he's still there, it's not good enough. He's proven not good enough. So he's one that definitely has to go. But I can see an old head coming in there. I won't say who because I have no idea. But yeah, someone with a bit of experience, someone who's won things that maybe in the tougher games that you put on, start the first 60 minutes and keep a clean sheet sort of thing. Because I do think in times we could do with having that sort of. When it looks like we're deer in headlights, do you know what I mean? Bring on a solid, someone that can organise, and that's where I would like to see us move in that centre back position. Get rid of Holding, do that. I think Kivior's stepped up pretty well, maybe even one more as well. But you could probably go young again for the one more, so don't have to maybe spend a lot of money.
For me, I'd like to see another forward, two midfielders, and another centre half come in and. In an ideal world, we keep all the ones that I've been talking about, Xhaka and Tierney and that, because I think they could be excellent squad players, but it's whether or not they want that role.
I mean, there's obviously you got to look at the idea as whether we're going to not replace Saka, sorry, have a backup for Saka that's not.
That's what I mean by that. That's what I want. I want the versatility with the attacking player. I want someone that can sort of play across the front three. You know, sort of Wilfred Zaha-esque, I suppose, but maybe a bit younger profile.
I mean, like you say, if you get Caicedo and Ben Rice into centre midfield, I mean,
Declan Rice,
sorry,
Uncle Ben's,
yeah.
Ben's Rice.
But yeah, obviously Declan and Moises Caicedo, then that would be a hell of a coup. And to be honest, if everyone else was free transfers after that, because we picked up that, then you can kind of understand that movement, because I think Zaha's a free transfer this summer.
Well, yeah, maybe he gets moved. He should have got 4 years ago. I mean, hindsight is a bitch, isn't it?
But again,
we should have taken over Pepe, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fair few players we could have taken over Pepe, but equally, I do think that Pepe's not really had a fair shake of the whip, albeit that Mikel Arteta obviously doesn't fancy him.
I think, Pepe was unfortunate that we spent all that money on him, brought him in, and all of a sudden Saka came along, didn't he, at pale end?
So, like, you think there was times that we were, what was it, 2-0 down at half time or whatever in a Europa League. He comes on, scores one with a free kick and another in the game, and we end up winning it 3-2 or something.
How often was he that game changer? Really,
what I'm saying is that he was never, in my opinion, given 15-game run or whatever where he could bed himself. But I could understand why a manager wouldn't. I'll caveat that with I watched him play as well and understood he's frustrating. That if you didn't give him the ball in the way he wanted, he barely worked hard for it. And that's. And everything he wanted was up and over the top, so he could run onto it. And often he'd sit there and do skills and beat someone 3 times, but not actually move past them.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point of that? So I get it, but yeah, no. I do think that there was possibly a fair shake of the whip that he was deserved, but we're getting on 27.5 minutes now, George.
Let's wrap this up then, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You really get on with the rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are.
Lovely. Well, obviously, thank everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've been watching up to now. Please add a subscription in there and hit the bell notification. We've obviously changed the background again. So some comments about whether you like that or not would be.
We're going to try and stick with this one for a few weeks, see how it goes.
See what you think. But obviously, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you soon.